Hello, hi, my name is Sean Bouchard. Welcome to Play by Play, where I am going to play some video games and talk about the experience design of them, and then we're gonna sort of, talk about it, which is what I love to do. So, thank you for joining me. We're starting a new game tonight called The Novelist. I know very little about this game. I'm really excited about it. As I understand it, this is a sort of experimental narrative game. I don't know exactly what the structure is, but I don't think it's fits neatly within defined genres. I think it has something to do with learning about the lives of a family and the difficulty that they have prioritizing the different things that they care about in their lives, and I think sort of helping them sort of try to find a balance. I think that's what the game is about, but we'll find out. I'm just gonna jump right in. I think I'm looking forward to this. I'm gonna start a new game. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this is a all right, so let's start on the title page just for a second. It's not that interesting. I didn't even think about it. First of all, it is this is a very typewriter kind of font that that suggests a amateur writer, a very what's his name from The Shining, Jack somebody, is what I think about with this font. This is a different kind of difficulty selection than I'm used to, right? Usually you'd see something very hierarchical, like an easy, medium, hard. And this is, I think, easy and hard, respectively. The story mode is there's less of a gamic challenge. So I'm gonna go stealth, and we're gonna experience the whole thing. And I am also gonna take the brief tutorial, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Cinematic.
This is it.
Wow, look at this place.
Still can't believe the deal we got.
Where's my room?
Right up there, buddy.
So all of these cuts to white create a very sort of disjointed effect that's sort of interesting. So I can look around and press W to emerge. Forward, backward, left, right, look around. Was I in a light? I'm not sure what I emerged from. Okay, there's a letter on the dining room table. Where is the dining room? How do houses work? What's a dining room? There it is. Okay. Mr. Kaplan, welcome to your home for the summer. We're very excited to have you. This is one of our most popular properties, and I'm sure that you and your family will have a memorable visit. We have booked you through August 31st. Your security deposit has cleared, and our cleaning service freshened everything up on Saturday. You can buy groceries at McClendon's in town, and if you'd like to eat dinner out, there are quite a few restaurants on Meriden Avenue, just off Fairview. If you have any questions, or if you run into any trouble at all, please don't hesitate to call. Pete Fuller, Hanniger Rentals, Sydney Bluffs, Oregon. So, we're in Oregon, we're renting a home for the summer, very The Shining, except not quite as, we're gonna get snowed in and somebody's gonna kill everybody. But it sort of establishes that kind of premise, that, writer in seclusion, or writer and his family in seclusion. Look at a light fixture and press space to possess it. Okay, so it is about light fixtures. Kaplans can't see you while you're possessing a light fixture, so possession is the safest way to explore. You can jump from one light fixture to another in order to move through the house unseen. Press E to continue. Use possession to reach the office upstairs. Oh god, it's good that there are so many light fixtures around here. Like, isn't that lucky? To reach the office upstairs. So I assume that's one of these doors, but all the doors are closed. Oh, except for this one. Here we go. I did that right. Good. 6 days later. So we've also established a fixed period of time, right? So there's the potential for a little bit of a ticking clock. August 31st, family moves out of the house. Your goal in each chapter is to figure out the dilemma facing Dan and decide how he should resolve the situation. Each member of the family desires a different outcome, and it's up to you to decide which path to take. If you remain undetected and learn the desires of more than one character, you can uncover compromises that will help the family. Oh, it's interesting that they sort of outright tell me how I would go about finding compromises. Okay, writer's block. After a week at the house, fade out. This is him, I assume that's him writing? Like literally... no, oh, well, except maybe not. So Dan's journal's on the desk. I can read it. I can't tell if I'm on a time limit of any kind. Like, there's nothing in the environment that suggests a timer to me. My instinct is it's a stealth game, right? So I want to know where everybody is before I come out of stealth, before I emerge. Now, the game might not be giving me that option. And also, this is a tutorial level, right? I feel like this is still part of the tutorial. So even though I can't find Dan, I feel safe enough that I'm going to come out and read the journal.
I can't believe I just wrote that. Writer's block. There, again. Those two words are apparently the only damn thing I can write. I don't think it's been this bad since high school. Mr. Holder's class, an essay about Faulkner. Dan Kaplan, little-known author of Tramer's Way and Windsong, has run out of steam. Closed my eyes last night and saw a literary register article about myself. That was the first line. Paul wants 3 chapters next week, and so far I've got 2,000 words so sloppy I can barely read them. I cannot blow my schedule. Paul said Grovefield's been very clear about what comes next if I keep slipping deadlines. Why did this happen as soon as we got here? This was supposed to simplify things, but so far it's been nothing but staring at a blank page. Maybe a walk will help, or a long drive, or a drink. That's
very shining. I guess I'm just doomed to continue making that reference. So I don't know about you guys, but I can sort of relate to this. Each character has a number of writings or drawings to discover. You found one of Dan's. Now that you know what's troubling him, you should search the house for him to discover more about his dilemma. Okay, this makes sense to me. Look for Dan in upstairs bedroom. This is an upstairs bedroom. This is the kids' room, though. Okay. All right. Every time I swap between lights, I get a little bit disoriented. Which hopefully I will learn to cope with. Really interesting how the levels are designed, though. They're laid out so that essentially it's a network of nodes that you can travel to and from, and those nodes just have to have line of sight to one another in order to be travelable. So laying out the space, actually doing the interior design, they have to be really careful about which things are visible from which places, which is neat. When you look at a character, you can press space to see what they're thinking about. Where's Dan? There's Dan. If this doesn't work... The cloud around Dan's head indicates that he's remembering specific moments from the past. You have the ability to explore his memories to learn more about the current chapter. Approach Dan from behind and press space to enter his memory. So I have to sneak up. I have to come out of stealth, which it's not clear to me like how his movements are governed. Right now, I'm pretty sure he's just going to stand there forever until I do this. But in general, I don't know, like, if I can predict when somebody's going to be standing still or turning around. I'm going to walk up behind him and press space and enter his memory. Now that you've entered Dan's memory, wow, this is a lot of tutorial text. You can explore it freely. Follow the sounds to locate different memories that are on his mind, different moments that are on his mind. When you find a specific moment, press space to uncover more about what's troubling Dan in this chapter. You can exit Dan's memory whenever you wish and can return to it any time by approaching him from behind and pressing space. So I think it'll continue from where I left off. Follow the sound to discover memories. Got it. Okay. Whoops. That's not what I meant to do. I hit,
Dan, we're back.
Oh, shit.
Hi, Mom.
I hit the wrong button, and I exited his brain instead of figuring out... I'm not sure if I was supposed to press a button to, like, latch on to the center of the memory, or, if I just totally screwed that up. I mean, I clearly screwed that up. All right, now that Linda and Tommy are home, you should look for their clues, discover what's on their minds, and explore their memories. Remember to stay out of sight and use possession to keep from alerting the Kaplans. If you remain undetected, you can earn additional opportunities to influence their story.
Having fun?
Okay, back into this memory, because I want to actually explore it. Space to uncover memory.
It has to.
It has to.
It has to.
It has to.
Do you think coming here will help?
Interesting. Interesting. It said that was out of 3, so I'm wondering if there's somebody else.
Tommy rode into town with me today. He saw some kids his age playing on the swings at the park, and I could tell he wanted to go play with them. It got me thinking, did we swing the pendulum too far just to get him away from those bullies? Kids can bounce back quick sometimes. What if this is the worst thing we could have done? Then he asked how Daddy's book was going, and without even thinking, I said, "Great, my man." Fought off right away. It's a white lie, sure, but why not be honest? When he was younger, he was just a bundle of physical needs, but now he's like a mental, emotional sponge. He's around Linda and me all the time, and I can see him changing every day in 1,000 small ways. That scares the hell out of me. What am I teaching him with a white lie?
That's interesting. That's interesting. I find that especially interesting because, like, all of my friends are having children. So I'm thinking a lot about sort of exactly this kind of thing. Okay. You can always press tab to see your progress and find out what you need to do to move forward. You can press escape to view the help screen or adjust options like blah, 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 blah. Really? This is okay. That's awkward. You have found all of the moments in this character's memory. You can come back and re-examine them at any time, or you can exit and explore other characters' memories. Press E to continue. So if I press tab, I've found everything in Dan's memory. You may investigate or investigate clues you've already discovered. but I'm done with this memory. E to exit.
Nicely done, honey.
Okay, so now I'm back here. I'm gonna like zoom around, try to figure out where everybody is. I think people are downstairs. Wow, there's more. Okay. While possessing a light fixture, you can press E to make the light flicker. This will cause nearby characters to investigate the light fixture for a short period of time. Use this ability to lure characters away from areas you wish to explore. That's interesting. That's super interesting. So one thing, and we can talk about this more later if people are interested, but one thing that I'm noticing is that the mechanics for this game are pretty straightforward. I get them. They make sense. It sounds like enjoyable. But the way that they're presented through this tutorial, through just walls of text, is very didactic. It's very like, I don't know. It's a low engagement mode of teaching mechanics in a game. And some of this stuff, it would be really hard to present, but certainly not impossible in a more interactive, dynamic way. But some of it seems like, you know, couldn't the game just conspire to put me in a room with a character and then suggest that I press E and see what it does? Or even the tooltip text that appears down on the bottom of the screen that says, like, you know, press space to possess a light fixture. If that could just give me some hints as to things that I can do contextually.
Having fun?
Okay, alright. So I'm gonna follow them around for a second. I think what I need to do is separate them, or possibly they're gonna separate themselves. He's going upstairs.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
She went into the office. Which direction am I facing? I'm so confused. Is this the office? Oh, this is some kind of a studio. Alright, so now I can go into her memory, and now I'm looking for sound. Memory is sort of, this is an odd framing, I guess. This is just a thing that she's thinking about.
I think we've done a good job of putting on happy faces for Tommy. If he knows there's something wrong, he's not showing it. We told him this is just a fun family vacation, and he seems to like it here so far. But this might be it for Dan and me. Neither one of us has said the word yet, but I know it's right there under the surface. We've been dancing around it. I can't even bring myself to write the word here. Writing it would be almost as bad as saying it, because once it's there, it becomes real, a thing we have to deal with. I'm not ready for that yet. We agreed to make this a fresh start. I meant it, I think he did too. Now we just have to treat each day like a new beginning.
So, interesting how it's already presenting us with two characters that have kind of very different perspectives on what's wrong at the moment. Dan? Yeah. He's even named Dan. No, Dan, okay, sorry. Dan is the name of the kid in The Shining. So Dan is very focused on his work, and he sort of views this as a do-or-die situation for getting his book done. I don't remember her name, but she's very focused on the relationship, and has there's like tonally something very similar about their emotional states, but their focus is completely different. That's certainly interesting. Okay. Oh, more people. Here we go.
Me too.
Me too.
I promise.
I promise, me too. Huh. Is it gonna yell at me until I press escape? Oh my god, really? I have to select options? Thank you. Thank you for not saying that anymore. Okay, I'm still in this memory, so I can exit the memory. There we go. Alright, can I go find Tommy? Gonna win this time. Gonna win this time. It looks like he's just playing with trucks. Like, I don't know, is that a game that you can win? Okay, exploring memories. So Tommy's memories come in the form of drawings. Him and his dad. Wow, he looks real sad, doesn't he? I am amazed at people who are good at illustrating things, being able to evoke that kind of emotion with such a like abstract illustration. That's pretty cool. So Tommy's definitely getting a negative vibe out of this situation. Unclear how much he actually understands about what's going on, but he's not super happy. I'm listening for the sound, which seems to be just a steady volume. It actually, if anything, got quieter when I went downstairs, so maybe there's nothing downstairs. But there's this. There's stuff outside. How do I get outside? Do I need to? Can I just, like, read their thoughts through the glass? Yes.
We'll have to find out.
Are there any other kids?
Are there any other kids? We'll have to find out. So the pattern so far has been in each of these memory sequences, there's sort of one written artifact that has a lot of monologue information and then a snippet of conversation between two characters. We'll see if that keeps up, if that's a like regular pattern. I'm gonna try the light flickering thing just because I am curious about it when he comes. Or, oh no, he went into the other room. How about her?
We just checked that one.
So sort of distracts her.
Yeah, we gotta check on that thing.
Just sort of pulls her over for a couple seconds. I'm gonna see if there are things that I can look at.
Good to hear from you. Listen, things are taking a little longer than expected. I feel good about this one, but I haven't quite brought some of the threads together. It's just an execution hiccup, not a lack of ideas. This is the most complicated book I've ever tried to write, and let's just say I have a newfound respect for guys like Dickens and Joyce who can juggle 10 threads at once without getting lost. I'm figuring some of this stuff out the hard way, I guess you could say. Anyway, the outline I sent you is still good, those are still the beats, those are still the themes I plan to explore. I'll keep you posted. Dan.
Okay. You've discovered enough about this chapter to find out how they want to resolve this chapter. Read their thoughts to learn how you can help them. So wrapped up in his book. Oh, shit. She's gonna turn around and see me. Oh, this is the same memories. Okay. Somehow I got away with that.
Hey, Mommy.
Hey, honey.
Wait, it told me to... That is a hell of a drawing. It seems a little bit on point, doesn't it? Like, it's literally... I am a sad kid who's been abandoned by his father, who is depressed over a typewriter. Well, I don't know. I don't have kids. Maybe that is what they draw. All right. I'm supposed to... Let me look. Read Dan's thoughts for a final clue. Linda, Tommy, read everybody's thoughts for a final clue. I thought I did try to do that. Maybe I just didn't do it well enough. Daddy's so sad about his book. Is that it? Maybe we can play later. Wish I could help Daddy. Do I need to read his thoughts like over and over again? Is that what's happening? Did these change? Oh god, I'm a little confused now. I think possibly after I read people's thoughts, then that's supposed to suggest a possible solution, and so I look for more clues at that point. Where's my notebook? I know I had something good. To choose this character's outcome, find the object in blue text and select it. You can continue exploring the house if you'd like to discover what other characters want to do. Characters' desired objects can be viewed by pressing Tab. Press E to continue. So, I see. Well, I sort of see. The tutorial is confusing because it's sort of telling me to do things in an order that doesn't seem right, but essentially I need to explore and read people's minds and explore their memories until I have gotten enough information, which I think is more than I have now, for Linda and Tommy at least, to understand like what object they are focused on, and then I can choose an object. So
Barb,
like, here's another
how are
thing.
things? Is school still taking up all of your time, or is anything new going on? We've been up here for a week or so, and I can already tell it's going to be great for painting. There are hardly any distractions, and this house has a room they called the conservatory in the brochure, which really just means it has a lot of windows. Whatever they call it, it's a great space for working. The second floor blocks most of the northern light, but I'll manage. I took Tommy down to the beach today, and you should have seen how excited he was. I wish I'd brought my camera. He kept looking back up at the house like he couldn't believe it was so small from down there. He seems to have taken to this place really well so far, which is such a load off our minds. We didn't know what to expect, but so far, so good. Anyway, let me know how things are going. Yours, Linda.
It's interesting. I mean, so the game has a couple opportunities to... this is a game that's all about coming to understand what characters are thinking, right? And it explores a couple different avenues to do that. One is through these memories. The memories are mostly just like a different context for framing the mechanisms that it uses in the non-memory world, which is things that they have written, either journaled, things they've written to themselves or things that they've written to other people, and then the conversations that they have with each other. And so there's obviously a lot of exposition that can happen in those letters, in the writings that they do for themselves and for other people, but the thing that I find really interesting, or potentially interesting, hopefully they'll be able to sort of capitalize on it, is the difference between what they write for themselves and what they write to other people. So this letter to Barb, she's expressing a very different sort of emotional tone. She's talking about very different things than when she was writing in her journal to herself. Which suggests like that adds layers of subtlety onto their motivations and their feelings, which I think is really cool. Yeah. Progress is saved automatically. You can quit the game at any time. Your progress will be automatically restored the next time you play. Okay. Mr. and Mrs. Kaplan, I hope this reaches you before you leave for the summer. I know we went over this in my office, but I think Tommy is a wonderful child and I'll feel better putting my recommendation in writing. Children develop at different speeds, and Tommy shows no signs of a serious learning disorder, so the most important thing is to be patient and supportive. Make sure he does his reading exercises each day in a calm, loving environment. Make sure not to show disappointment when he struggles, which he will at first. Show encouragement when he succeeds, as self-confidence is critical at his age. If he fails to make progress with the exercises I've included, you may want to take him to a local pediatrician for further recommendations. I hope this is of some help. I look forward to seeing Tommy in September. Mrs. McMillan. Selecting this notebook will choose Dan's resolution for the chapter. Linda and Tommy will be disappointed. However, if you've discovered Linda or Tommy's desired outcome and haven't spooked them, you'll be able to find a compromise with one of them in the next chapter. Interesting. So not in this chapter. In this chapter, I'm choosing one of three things. But in the next chapter, a compromise might emerge if I know enough about all of the characters. Press escape to continue playing, or E to choose Dan's outcome and finish the chapter. This prompt can be disabled via the options screen. I like having that prompt, though, because I feel like I might sometimes choose an object unintentionally, which, you know, would be unintentional. Racin' Roger. That looks like a dice race game. Kid, you need to be playing better games. Okay, I'm looking around for stuff to investigate. There's a note on the door. Okay, so she's going off that way. What if,
What's wrong with that thing?
pick up more canvases, art store anywhere in town, galleries or studios. So she has her own stuff that she's interested in. Oh! Me and Daddy can play Racin' Roger. Look at that. He wants to play board games. But presumably bad board games. I don't know that I want to force them to play terrible board games. We could have a bottle of wine and hang out like we used to.
Oh, yeah.
I like playing board games with Dad. Got it. Okay, I haven't spooked anybody. Oh, here's one more thing.
It's such a crazy thought, the three of us all alone in this house all summer. I never thought we could afford a place like this, but the price surprised us both when we saw it.
Maybe it's
Wonder if there's
haunted.
something wrong with it. Maybe it has a raccoon problem or a toilet that backs up. Guess we'll find out soon enough. Oh, and I'm painting again. I got set up today. I felt a buzz right away. So much time to work. I haven't had a space like this in forever, probably since I left the studio. I went straight into a new piece today, got lost, looked up to see it was 2 hours later. I think this new one has promise, though I still have some rust to shake off. Speaking of which, I'm going to go check on Dan and see if his new office is doing anything for him. He's pretty frustrated, but he has to figure something out soon, or this place won't be any different than home.
Interesting contrast between him being sort of creatively deadlocked and she feeling like she has a surfeit of creativity. So it's clearly setting up like lots of relationships and different interesting contrasting themes between the characters. So now I think I've found all three of the things. What am I going to choose? I feel like So it's a difficult decision for me to make now because I've only sort of just started to get to know everybody. Everybody seems sympathetic. I understand where everybody's desires are coming from. I guess it boils down to sort of a question of, for Dan, because I think Dan is at the heart of the problems that the family is having. Linda and Tommy seem to be fine. It's Dan and Linda have a strained relationship. Dan and Tommy have a strained relationship. For Dan, is his problem best solved by getting him on track, getting him to a place where he feels like he's not so stressed about his deadlines, and then he can sort of have more mental space for his family? Or are we better off sort of solving his root problems, and then maybe he'll feel more creatively inspired? And I think it's more the second one. And I think, oh God, this is tough. I don't know if I need to focus on his relationship with Tommy, which seems important, or his relationship with Linda. But I feel like he needs a support structure. Like, Tommy needs both of his parents, and he needs his parents to be, good together. And Dan really needs more support. So I'm going to side with Linda. I'm going to try to repair that relationship. This will choose Linda's resolution. Dan and Tommy will be disappointed. However, if you discover Dan or Tommy's desired outcome and haven't spooked them, which I think I haven't done, you'll be able to find a compromise with one of them in the next chapter. I am going to do this. What happens now? Is it cutscene, or does it go to like 6 days later? The Kaplans are asleep. Explore the house for clues about its past. Then whisper your decision to Dan. So I've chosen a decision, but I haven't actually enacted it, I think. By playing carefully and learning the desires of more than one character, you've earned the ability to find a compromise with any character you didn't spook in the previous chapter. You can only select one character for a compromise. Press tab to view possible compromises. Explore the house, then whisper your choice to Dan. You may also find a compromise with an additional character if you wish. Something about the notebook or Race and Roger. Okay. So I can explore the house. Everybody's asleep. I think I don't need to be stealthy. I can just wander around. I can discover things that I missed in the previous section. The downside obviously being that I missed them in the previous section. Like, I already had to make my primary decision. So any information that I find now is just going to be, it's going to be like extra. It's going to be stuff that I will wish that I had known. Fly my kite. So now could I select this? I could select that. I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I'm of the opinion, and the game is not doing anything to suggest one way or another, but it seems reasonable to me that Dan needs to fix his family life, and that will help him get through this mental barrier that he's suffering. That's the journal. No, that's the journal. From the desk of Harold Baxter, January 16th, 1948. Standing in the kitchen drinking coffee and admiring the view, I simply don't understand it. Who wouldn't want to see this every morning? It appears to be the great question of 451 Timberline Road. I assume that's where we are. I slept very well last night. It's a good thing the previous owners left the house furnished. It was just about as quiet as anywhere else I've ever been. The only sounds today are the ocean and a few birds. After I finish breakfast, I plan to begin my inspection. Later, I was inspecting the upstairs walkway to make sure the railing was sturdy when I saw something odd downstairs. I'm not certain I can describe what it was, and I've already talked myself halfway out of thinking it was anything at all. It was probably just a trick of the light coming through those big windows. I don't think that journal was there during the day. So maybe it's like a haunted journal. Maybe it's like a journal that the house has put there. Maybe I'm learning more. I mean, from 1948, right? So I'm learning more about the history of the house rather than just the history of the family. All right, I'm going to select Race and Roger. This will choose Tommy's compromise for this chapter. You can only select one compromise per chapter. Let's do it. Okay, so now I have selected a primary and secondary thing, and Dan does not get to write his novel today. He's got all summer, right? He can write his novel tomorrow. The next night, Dan surprised Linda by grabbing a bottle of wine and asking her if she wanted to drink it and catch up after they got Tommy into bed. They put on their favorite Miles Tanner record and cuddled on the couch, laughing and catching up on things before stumbling to bed. The summer was off to a good start for them. Dan knew it was important to start the summer off on a good foot with Tommy, but he couldn't find time to play as long as Tommy wanted. He knocked off early enough to sneak in 2 games, and he made sure to let Tommy win both, but his son was disappointed that they hadn't had more time together. So clearly that's a compromise. It's not just 2 endings. Dan couldn't get past his writer's block. He laid awake for 3 nights, trying to think of a way out of his jam, but he couldn't come up with one. He had to stay on schedule, so he forced himself to write a scene just to keep moving. He hated each word as he typed it, but he had no choice. God, I've been in that situation too. Good job, Dan. Way to type that shitty scene. That's what you gotta do. Okay, so now it's some days later. The show. Okay, so that all centered around Dan's writer's block. Linda got a letter in the mail. And then we go from text to I think a little scene will play out. Okay, I'm gonna take a break here. Yeah, I'm gonna take a break here. When I come back, I'm going to do, let's do a question. Let's start off the next segment with a question. If anybody has one about this game or what we've played so far. I think that we've played like a discrete segment and now it's going to repeat. I expect that like there will be several chapters that are sort of formatted just like this. Anybody who has questions, put them in the chat, and I'll answer one when we come back, and we'll do the show and see how that goes. I'll be back in just a minute.